Today's episode, we make a Midori Sour in honor of the Ghost of Tsushima release. We have a special guest, Jay Biggs, also known as Jason to me, as we talk about the lack of black diversity in gaming industry and video games, as well as talk about our favorite black voice actors and game characters. We then talk about Ghost of Tsushima and future game release expectations. This is the Drunken Guardian podcast. Today's featured cocktail is made no different than other sours mentioned on the show before. Few simple ingredients, dry shake with egg white, then ice, shake, etc. I choose this cocktail not just because Midori is known for its sweet Japanese melon for Ghost of Tsushima, but also because it's a very different flavor profile some are not used to when usually drinking whiskey or amaretto. I always encourage trying new builds, flavors, and just flavor exploration in general, so Midori is definitely different if you have not tried it before. Using two types of Japanese melon, the sweet tasting liqueur will not taste like your usual honeydew or other melons for that matter. It's not strong, you can drink it straight, though most would usually just add soda to it. Look up some recipes in the end if you end up loving it. There are tons of finds such as the Japanese slipper, the melon ball drop, and the spider's kiss. Here is the Midori Sour. You're going to add your usual ingredients with a little variation here. It's going to be 2 ounces of Midori. It's going to be 1 ounce of lime juice as opposed to the lemon juice. You can try lemon juice if you're interested, but it does actually change the taste of the Midori. Give it a try if you like it. Of course, the usual egg white you're going to put in as well. If you are vegan or vegetarian, you can add aquafaba instead. After you put everything in, don't forget to dry shake first, and then you ice shake afterwards. Once you pour it into a coupe glass or whatever glass you'd like, enjoy it as it is, no garnish is needed. And now on to the rest of the show. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the show. Welcome to the Drunken Guardian, and today we're going to be talking about black video game characters and also the game developers in the industry themselves. Today we got a special guest, which is Jason, one of my buddies from my bartending days and a fellow gamer. What's up, Jason?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me here.
I mentioned with you before, this topic kind of had me really interested in the black people in the industry, not just game developing, but voice acting and the characters themselves, how unrepresented they really are in the industry after the announcement of the Miles Morales game by Insomniac. What happened was they had announced the game. Everyone was really excited for it, and they failed to mention that it was a DLC. So, about a couple days later, they announced that it was a DLC for the PS5 and kind of killed the buzz behind it because everyone was hoping for, a big African-American, and mind you, Miles Morales is even mixed too. He's half Latino. Finally we get a big character of mixed race in a video game, and it's great that it's Spider-Man. And then they backpedaled again, saying, okay, it's not a DLC, it's a standalone game, it's just a short game. So it's kind of like an expansion in a way, a standalone expansion is what they said. So I was almost hesitant. It's hard to say. It's almost if they were hesitant to stray away from the traditional Peter Parker as the main character. So they kind of just put him as a side character. So he's still a side character in a standalone game, in the main game. What'd you think about the announcement and everything? Your thoughts on the whole news?
Like at first I really did like it. I was like, cool, we finally got Miles Morales. He is one of my favorite versions of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of was bummed to hear that it was just like it was just a tack on to the original game. So it's mainly just an up-res version of the other game with a Miles DLC. Like it kind of reminds me of Lost Odyssey, the Uncharted standalone expansion thing that they did. They did the exact thing.
Yeah.
And I think
what was it? Nadia was more like a sidekick. What was that her name? Couldn't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Wait, Nate, and I think it was Nadine actually.
Nadine.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
it was Nadine, and cannot remember her name right now, but it was Nathan Drake's other love interest.
Yeah. The thief.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. Okay. Yeah, that's true. They kind of put that ex love interest in the forefront of it. And then Nadine was more of a sidekick on the side there. I remember that briefly.
yeah,
It's strange. Like I look back and like they have Egyptian characters, they have Norse characters, they got Greek, they got Japanese, they got Chinese characters. They even got Hispanic characters like Far Cry 6 for example right now with the guy from Breaking Bad.
yeah.
They got characters like Rico from Just Cause who was Spanish, which I don't even think his voice actor was Spanish himself. And games like Resident Evil 5 which take place in Africa and they have a female black sidekick but the main character is Chris Redfield.
Correct.
So why do you think that we don't have that much African American diversity in video games? Like maybe they don't have enough black representation in developing community, anyways.
That's true. I don't know. Like, I've looked into it as well, and it is really hard to find them. And I kind of feel like they usually just default to whatever they know instead of like actually trying to branch out and try different things. And I don't know if they don't want to take certain risks. They don't know if that person's going to be good or not. But speaking of one actual like black voice actor, the voice actor of Samurai Jack, Phil Lamar.
Yes, love him.
He is great. He like I just watched the clip of Vamp versus Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my favorite scenes, and his delivery on every character he does is really good. Like I kind of wish I did see more of like that in like other video games as well, instead of just like the same 10 voice actors we hear in every single game. Like as much as I love Troy Baker, we do get a lot of like him in every game.
Yeah,
he's a really good voice actor, really good voice actor. But like I feel like everyone defaults to Troy Baker
or Nolan North.
Yes, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm just playing Deadpool or like reskin Deadpool at this point.
You're right. It's I did some research on that too. Like I think I have a quote here. I got this from a Vice article with Phil Lamar actually. That is, you mention it. He says, from an artistic perspective, I would love it if race didn't have to be a factor. But from a paying my rent perspective, I'm glad it does. He said, if I have to compete for a black male role with every black male voice actor and every white male voice actor, my chance of getting the job decreases immensely. They're competing twice as hard to get these roles, and that includes female actors or voice actresses as well. Like, can you imagine that? It's crazy. Like,
oh, actually, I did see one. There is Deborah Wilson. She's also from Mad TV. She worked with Phil Lamar as well. She was in the last Star Wars game. What was it called? Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, really?
Yeah.
Was she was the mentor?
Yeah, she was the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she used to be a Jedi. Then she gave up the way, and she just yeah.
Did you get to play that one?
I actually played some of it. It was really good.
Yeah, it was. Also, I should mention there's a study found in 2009 that 80% of game protagonists are white. 7 years later, not much has changed. That's an article on Vice.com as well, where they also mention about Phil Lamar and his thoughts on the industry. So it's like it's almost like Hollywood. Hollywood, they don't consider a lot of main characters in a diverse way. They don't have a lot of main Asian characters. They don't have a lot of main female characters. They don't have a lot of main black characters. They're always on the sideline. There's always an afterthought, unless the producers or the directors themselves, or even the writers for that matter, they are of that culture. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they're fighting for that inclusion and they have to pretty much cover all aspects of things just so they can get casted.
Yeah.
There's a guy, there's a game developer that I want to look up, and I'm gonna leave a link to his Twitter later on in the episode, on the description. Derek Mans, he's the founder of Sungura Games. In an interview with Black Enterprise, he said the company is primarily African American and it's steady. So he offered this advice for those seeking a career in video games. Those looking to join, make sure you're good at math. Also look into schools that offer gaming in undergrad. So he's opened up this company and try to focus on African American game developers, so that way they can make African American games and game characters and such. So that way they could promote more diversity and that kind of stuff. What do you think of that?
That is actually pretty cool. That's like really good. Like, I'm glad we got someone actually trying to do that, trying to get everybody like on the same track with that thing. Yeah. It's not a lot of that at all.
One of my favorite voice actors, Lance Reddick. You know me, a Destiny player. Lance Reddick. He's the voice of one of the characters in Destiny, and freaking Zavala. He's one of my favorites.
He has an iconic voice. You cannot mistake his voice for anyone else.
Yeah. This is some other people. Jaleel White, Jaleel White. He's famous for Sonic. Dave Fennoy, which he played Lee Everett in The Walking Dead. So he was a main character in the game, that was amazing. One of my favorite Telltale games. Did you get to play that one?
No, I actually didn't. I have like a few of the Walking Dead games on my like freaking backlog I gotta get to. We have Keith David.
Yes, Goliath. Freaking Goliath.
Also, Arby, the Arbiter from Halo.
Oh, he was the voice of him. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Arbiter, okay. I know he was the voice of Spawn as well. I wonder if he was the voice of Spawn in the games.
Yes, they actually did get him for the last Mortal Kombat game too.
So they used his voice, like they did with RoboCop. Yeah, RoboCop.
Yeah. And who else is pretty good? Kyrie Payton. He's the voice of Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Oh, nice. Yeah. They brought a little bit of that during the Justice League movie when the whole Booyah thing is his whole thing now.
Freaking love that line.
Yeah. So speaking of video game characters such as Cyborg, or cartoon characters for that matter, what are your favorite African American video game characters?
Some of my favorite. Well, I actually did like Miles. Miles is one of them.
Yes.
Nadine was pretty good. Just the sheer badassery of her. I kind of wish we did have more of her. She was kind of like on the good team instead of just like the bad person. Well, the henchman.
Yeah. She had that mercenary character thing.
Yeah, she's just there when the game needed her.
Yeah. Were you a Final Fantasy fan at all?
Yeah, I like 7. 8 is my favorite though.
8 is your favorite. Okay.
Yeah. I know 7. Everybody knows Barrett.
Yes, that was exactly what I was going to mention. Yeah. Barrett's one of my favorite ones there. Who else? Jax. Can't forget Jax in Mortal Kombat.
Of course not. His daughter's pretty good too. Jackie Briggs.
She is. Yeah. There's one of the main characters, actually, surprisingly enough, Carl CJ from San Andreas.
Yeah, CJ is really good. It's pretty funny. Made a lot of memes.
Yeah. I have to actually look into how they went about writing the whole story with that. Like a lot of those type of characters tend to fall into that stereotype of the thug or the gangster or the dangerous dude and whatnot. So like I wonder how they went about writing the character themselves.
That is a good point to make.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that as well. Like when we do get the characters in the right role, like we get the right characters in the wrong roles. Like you said, the stereotype. We always get, like, if we get the Asian person, they'll always know karate. They'll always be like, it always falls into that. And like we have, like, the white guy's always the hero, this, that, and the third. There's a Spanish representation. They'll have like the really heavy accent all the time. I'm like, you don't need the heavy accents all the time.
You don't need that.
Yeah,
I find that like the Hispanic ones, like even in movies too, they're like the hackers or like the little like sly little like sneaky ones and everything.
They know the ins and outs of every city. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's like this is the only role that you're gonna do.
James Heller from Prototype 2, he was a main character. That was a really good game. I really like Prototype 2 a lot more than the first one, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Prototypes was really good. I kind of wish we did get a 3.
Yeah, I did too, actually. Oh, and funny fact about James Heller, actually, black character in the game, not voiced by a black voice actor.
Just like Nadine.
Just like Nadine.
Yeah. That was
strange.
Yeah.
I don't think there are not enough black actors auditioning for the roles. Like, I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like there's enough people auditioning for it, and they always tend to go for white actors. I don't know why that is.
I feel like they go with the familiarity of it. They're like, oh, we know this person. All right, let's go do that.
Oh, so you think it's a name thing? Maybe like if they find of someone of a popular name, that they'll usually just stick with that then.
Yeah, I feel like they play it too safe, and playing it too safe is not always a good thing. It's like, no, just try it out. Like, you can always like reshoot the voices if you really feel like it doesn't fit that character. Don't forcefully put it in if you don't like it. Simple as that. Like
that's true.
Like the Peter Dinklage, everybody knows that one with Ghost. They, for the whole second half of Destiny 1 all the way into 2, they changed everything, and I'm like, they didn't like it, so they switched it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they should take more chances like that to be more authentic with their characters. And if it doesn't work out, then I mean, I guess from a money standpoint, they don't want to spend the money in doing that. But I mean, you make a good example. Peter Dinklage was must have been an expensive voice actor to cast, only just to fire him, or maybe just lose him because maybe he didn't have the time, or he was too expensive, and then ended up going up with somebody else that was actually more popular and it worked better.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Nolan North himself. There was this one game I heard about. I did not like. I love beat 'em up games, but I overlooked this one so many times until I watched the trailer for it. It's so freaking good. It's called Treachery in Beatdown City.
What's that about?
It's kind of like Streets of Rage, but it's pretty cool. It has this like really neat like combat system to it. I like it, and it has 3 characters. It has like don't know her ethnicity. She could be Spanish. She's like front and center. You got like the white guy maybe on the side, and the other black guy from Jamaica. Actually, he has his Jamaican flag on his belt. So he's the karate guy. It's pretty cool. It's actually made by a black developer as well. So Treachery in Beatdown City is a good one. If anybody wants to check that one out, it's on Steam.
Okay, I'm actually gonna write that down. Treachery in Beatdown City.
And it's pretty cool because it's ninjas have kidnapped a totally fictional U.S. president, Blake Orama.
That's the president's name?
Yeah. I saw this and I'm like, oh man, this is pretty cool.
That's good. See, they're working on some stuff, man, some unique stuff, and they need to get their stuff out there.
Yeah. This is other indie developer too. The game is called She Dreams Elsewhere. This one looks pretty cool. It reminds me of a bit of Undertale meets Earthbound.
I saw footage of that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, I was like, what is this? I kind of need to check it out because I actually never got to play Earthbound.
Man, you missing out. Did you play Undertale?
Undertale? No, I have Undertale on my PlayStation. I played a bit of it. I didn't get too far into it yet.
Okay. I would suggest doing 2 playthroughs of that because you're going to be really surprised with how the game ends and how the game changes if you play it through again a different way.
Well, I love those type of games.
Yeah, but I did hear about that game. I saw footage of it, and I noticed the way the battles are. It kind of plays the same way as Undertale, like you move around a cursor, basically dodging stuff.
I saw this one. Like, it's pretty nice.
Do you remember who played Nadine?
The actress who played Nadine. No.
Was it Laura Bailey?
Yes, it was.
It was Laura Bailey.
It was okay. Laura Bailey.
So, again, speaking of some voice actors, I I was reading up on Laura Bailey. So Laura Bailey had gotten some heat for voicing Nadine, which, was a black character. Laura Bailey right now is getting some more heat. Did you get to play The Last of Us 2?
Yes, I'm still roughly in the beginning of the game, as they would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not to spoil anything for you, but she voices Abby. Have you worked with Abby yet already?
Oh yeah, fucking Abby.
Yeah. So she's been catching she's been catching death threats.
I saw
because
that.
of her character, because Abby's character, she does some wild shit in the game, some stuff that you probably wouldn't agree with, and also because of like her physique, her character in general, like I guess she's not supposed to be a bodybuilder, you can't have a strong woman in a video game for some reason.
She's supposed to be slim and slender, like everyone wants.
Yeah. So she's been catching some heat on the character's look, on the character's choices and stuff. She's been getting death threats over it. That's some like ridiculous stuff. Like this is like, I could understand if she was casted as a black character and you want to be outspoken about that and maybe get a recast done over it. But it's another thing to like attack someone for a fictional character.
Yeah.
Like it's not like she wrote this character herself. Like it's some crazy, wild stuff that like she actually posted up some stuff that they sent to her. It's ridiculous.
I saw a lot of that. People were covering it too, and I'm like, guys, relax. Like, I get it. You don't like the character, but that's not the person. That's not her in real life. She didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't the one holding the golf club. Like, I get it. that scene was hard to freaking watch. I'm like, they're not gonna do it. Nah, it's just gonna heal up. It's a video game. Nope.
Yeah, I was surprised with what happened there. I don't know if maybe also like they try to humanize her more in the game, because you see more story on her side of things.
Yeah,
but it's just, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with humanizing a human. Like she had her own demons to fight, and do you know why? Like she did what she did and stuff like that. You didn't get to that part, did you?
No, I didn't get to that part yet.
Oof.
I know it's gonna be some stuff. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah. Her actions in a way were justified. I'm not saying what she did was right, but like, trust me, it gets crazy.
It wasn't just like it wasn't a mindless action that she did.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that because we already know that. We already know this person's like backstory. Not Abby, the other person, the victim.
Oh, Joe and Ellie.
Yeah, we know where he came from. We know the things he's done. So
yeah.
He's got enemies.
Hopefully, if those people listening also they've played the first one. Playing the first one will help, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, it just shines a little more light on just the beginning. Honestly, just the reason why Ellie was acting the way she was acting early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So aside from all that talk, like, what have you been playing?
I've been lost in Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, me too. Oh, yes. I got a review up right now on YouTube if anyone wants to listen to it. What do you think of it so far?
That game has stole my soul. I'm only like like I've only liberated the first section of the map, but like, okay. Oh my god, like I'm on Act 2 already. I liberated Part 1. I'm still I'm finding everything. I'm like, just the smallest things, just like the shrines. I don't know if you've seen any of the small shrines where it tells you to bow.
Yeah, and random stuff will happen.
Yeah, honestly, the coolest one has to be when for so far, when you bow at the Buddha statues, the little butterflies come around and they just follow you for a little bit. That one's pretty cool.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I found it randomly yesterday while I was playing.
Okay.
And I think the funniest one, the two funny ones, was one I found on the beach. I just bowed and a bunch of crabs just came out of nowhere.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And then I had another one where like I saw a frog statue. I bowed at the frog statue and like 30 frogs just jumped on near me.
Yep. Yeah. There was I don't know if it was because I bowed or not. Have you done the Mythic Tales yet?
Yeah, I just got my longbow.
The longbow. Okay, I
Yeah.
think actually that was the mission. It was either that mission or the one where you get the archer's armor. Um, there he buries him with his sword on the grave as it like a little tombstone or marker or whatever. And I bowed in front of it, and a freaking a freaking lightning strike hit the sword in
Oh,
front of it.
that was at the Heavenly Strike one, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if it was because I bowed or it was supposed to happen regardless, but it was cool, nonetheless.
Speaking of Heavenly Strike, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I use it a lot.
Like I'll perfect parry and then just Heavenly Strike. It's pretty awesome. And you have the guys. You like the more you do it, the more the guys get scared and run away.
Mm-hmm.
I've caught there's actually a trophy to get, like to shoot someone running away. I think it's called, what is it called? It's called Witness Protection.
So you just kill them somehow while they're running away?
Yeah, I saw him running like right after the Heavenly Strike, and I just pulled out the bow and just got him. And I got the trophy.
Okay.
I did it random. I'm like, you know what? Fuck,
I gotta try that.
It's pretty cool. What's your playstyle? Your preferred playstyle?
Honestly, so I'm in any stealth game, or not stealth game, but any game that gives me an option to do stealth, I'll usually choose stealth. I love being stealthy. I love being like ninja style. But for some reason, I love to be a brutal samurai in this game. Like I feel so badass. Like with the sword fighting is so well done, and like of course, like you said, the scaring and just everything about it is so cool.
Yeah, I went full ninja.
Really?
Yeah, I always make sure before I go in the front door, if I can. If I can't find a spot, I'll go in the front door. But if I find a crack in the wall, I'm going straight through, jumping on rooftops. There was this one thing I did where I jumped off a rooftop. I think, what did I have? I had smoke bombs. So I jumped off the rooftop, threw a smoke bomb. It was 6 of them. So I did a chain assassination. During my chain assassination, I switched to my kunai real quick. So when I killed the third person, I threw the kunai at the other 3 dudes just to finish them off. I felt like
they killed them automatically.
Yeah, because I have the
nice.
I got the serrated blades, so that does extra damage.
Okay.
So I literally just run around. And speaking of that, did you know that the more the way you play changes like the weather?
The more you play?
Well, the way you play. I mean, sorry. Yeah, like
what do you mean?
So if you play more stealthy, more ninja-like, you're more prone to get thunderstorms and like foggy nights all the time. Well, not all the time, but more occasionally than you'll get like daytime.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I like read up on it. I was like, no freaking way! Like, really, I added this type of thing.
No, it took me forever actually to find out what the flute thing was for. Like, I didn't know you could change the weather with the flute. That's I don't collect those crickets that often.
I only collected 10 crickets actually. So I have the Song of the Storm and Song of Fog.
Oh, so you unlocked 2 of the songs. Okay. Yeah, I only unlocked 1. And then of course the one that you start off with. Like I played the Song of the Storm by accident after I equipped it, and then it started thundering, and I'm like, what did I just do? Did I just change the weather? And then I went back to the other song and did it, and it went sunny again. I'm like, oh, that's what that's for.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm at the same boat as you. Like I've been playing pretty much every day. Actually, I have been playing every day for hours, and I've yet to finish Act 2 because I'm getting everything else done. Like my character's almost maxed out. I don't even know what to upgrade anymore.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I'm at that point. Like I'm just finishing up. I think I have 3 more quests in the first area, and then I'll just do the second one.
The side quest?
Yeah, 3 more side quests in the first area. I liberated everything. I have like 3 side quests. I grabbed all the crickets in that area. So I think there's only 10 in the first section. And the Inari shrines, those are pretty cool. Have you maxed out your have you gotten all 6 charm slots?
Yeah, I got them all. I follow all those foxes.
Yeah. Those that's actually pretty. I love the fox.
I've never taken so many pictures in my life either of a video game too. Like that photo mode is freaking amazing. Are you the type to 100% a game, or is that what you're aiming for?
For this one, yes,
Yeah.
it's caught, it's awakened that part of me, that latent part of me, which I put to sleep a while ago. I was like, oh
Um,
man.
so normally you don't, but this game is worth doing it.
Yeah, like it's really good. I think last time I 100% a game, it's gonna be so bad. Last time I 100% a game was Infamous Second Son.
Oh wow, that was a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, wasn't it like a launch title or something?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Other than that, I've just been like enjoying the story, getting what I can, and like I'll beat the game once, and then this maybe a second playthrough, I'll try and 100% everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, I kind of put off on like trying to 100% on my first playthrough. That was my problem. I kept doing it to the point where I was like, damn, I'm kind of bored now. So I was like, so now the way I'm playing the games are like my first playthrough, I'm doing it to enjoy it, have my fun. Second
Yeah.
playthrough, business.
Yeah, I was thinking about. So I usually get a lot of my games digital now. Oh, well, sorry, I should say I get a lot of games that are digital if I know I want to replay them again. You know, like I can see myself replaying it again. And I bought Ghost digital, and now I regret it because part of my review I mentioned this. One of the biggest things that I'm upset about is you can't skip any cutscenes, like
Yeah,
any dialogue at all. Like, how do you expect replayability with when you have to deal with all this dialogue all over again?
like the shrines, like the
Yeah,
not
the
the shrine,
shrines. You talk to like the random people out in the streets, like that you save, and like all the side missions and stuff is so much talking.
like, and also the hot springs. If you accidentally go to a hot spring that you've been to already, I was like, damn, you got to go back in, then come out, like watch the little
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a little loading screen there.
Mm-hmm.
What else you been playing? I know you said you were getting back into Final Fantasy.
Oh, 14. Oh, yeah, that's another one. I just recently picked it up on PC.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on my PS4. I've been playing that since back on the PS3 actually. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for about 7 years now.
Is it you play it on both? Is it crossplay or is you just got two separate accounts?
No, I have the same account. I can just jump back and forth between.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah. It's
Huh.
pretty cool. I transferred it from my PS3 long ago. Started playing it on my PlayStation and I got it on a PC. Just to get that feel of like mouse and keyboard, and I actually do like it on PC as well too.
Yeah, a lot of those MMOs they play a lot better on PC just for the hotkeys and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't play many MMOs anymore except for Destiny.
I need to get back into that. I did
You
transfer my
should.
character though. I remember transferring my character when they allowed us to.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I have all my progress from the Xbox on my PS4 now.
You moved to the PS4? Yeah,
Yeah,
man, just let me know. I'll join in and Sherpa you for a bit and level you up. Like the story now is insane. Their seasons can be a little bit bland sometime. With like the with the end game content, but the story itself is really, really good. And the weapons. The weapons are insane.
I actually saw a trailer about they were showing off the encase ability, like that ice ability that's
That's a
coming
whole
through.
new power. That's a whole new super they're getting, yeah.
I saw that. I think it was of course the warlock. He has a staff. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, this is pretty cool. It's kind of feeling like a true fantasy MMO.
Yeah, I don't. It's strange because they're calling it ice, like it has ice powers. But when they showed the first trailer, when Bungie was doing their announcement for the next 3 years of expansions,
Mhm.
they were saying that those powers that we were using was from the darkness. So I'm curious to
Really?
know. So I'm like, so the darkness has ice powers, or maybe we haven't really seen what the powers are yet.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know if you like part of the story right now. If you're following it at all, is the darkness finally showed up.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
actually keeping up with the story.
yeah, yeah. So they're finally there. Pyramids are taking over. They're probably going to destroy a couple of planets, and our map is going to change. So yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for Destiny right now. I've been wanting to get into Final Fantasy, but that subscription service kind of kills it for me.
Yeah. Right. Actually, speaking of that, right now they're doing a extended free trial that leads all the way into the first expansion of the game, which is
So you
pretty
can play
cool.
the first expansion too.
Yeah, you can go all the way straight to, it's called Heaven's Ward, the first expansion.
Okay.
So like I actually did read an article about it. It was like Final Fantasy's free subscription is being very generous, and I'm like, hell yeah, that is like that's base game all the way to first expansion.
How long is the trial for?
That's a good question.
I might consider that actually. I would assume 2 weeks, either 2 weeks or a month. I would assume.
Yeah, it says it literally includes all the way up until the end of the first expansion. Yeah, it's a whole month.
Whole month, okay.
Yeah,
I might consider that maybe once I'm done with Ghost, because there's not much going on in Destiny right now. Now that I've already maxed out my character, maybe I'll jump into that on Final Fantasy. I mean, on PS4.
Yeah, I'll help you out on there too.
Cool. What's the level cap there?
Right now level cap is 80.
Mm.
But with the subscription, with that free subscription trial I was telling you about, that expansion ends at 60. So if you get all the way there, you'll level cap to 60. It's really good though. Like they're also coming out with their next expansion, well, their next update for the last expansion they came out with. August 11th is coming out. I think it's 3. What is it? 5.3 actually. That's what it's called.
If you put you on the spot here, if you were to sell this game to me, what would be your selling points?
Ooh. Selling points for this game. Honestly, if you're a real, if not real fan, if you actually really do like MMOs, or if you're okay with that grind, that good grind, not the bad type of grind, it's definitely a type of game for you. Switching classes whenever you want. You're not locked in the classes. There's no gender locked classes like most MMOs, which freaking blows my mind.
Yeah.
But there are 2 races that are gender locked, but that doesn't really affect anything. You can still pick whatever class you want, switch around. You can be if you want to just go around crafting gear for people, just being that person, you can do so. If you want to be the mage the whole time, you can go ahead. You're never forced to do anything in the game. You pretty much just do what you want. Pick whatever role you want, stick to it, or just try anything else.
So if I reclass, do you have to respec the character?
No. You literally just equip your main weapon, and it'll switch your class. Just do the first quest where the quest giver gives you that weapon for that class. Equip that weapon, you're good. And then once you hit a certain threshold of level, I think it's 35, you do the level 35 quest, then you move on to get your job. So your job is just the upgraded version of the class. So you'll have access to more abilities, better abilities, and pretty much more end game stuff, because you're gonna be because my first class was a black mage, but then I switched to a lancer, which becomes the dragoon favorite class, even though people shit on that class because we kind of do jump off the platforms and die in raids sometimes. I'm guilty for it. Wow. Because there's this move called jump, and you do a backflip. I usually, like most people, they kind of like end up doing the dramatic anime backflip right off a ledge. But yeah, not every raid is like that. There was this one raid, always, no matter what level I am, I always fall off the freaking edge. It's the Titan raid. I've done that one. I've done a backflip. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fall off. I have no space to do this. Nope, backflip right off. Nice game. I just gotta wait for someone to revive me after they talk shit in the chat box. So yeah, dragoons are notorious for backflipping off of ledges.
They offer voice chat like directly on the game.
Do they actually? I usually just use Discord.
Okay, I figured. Okay, I know a lot of people like to use Discord. It's one of those things that I was looking into whenever I start streaming anything for my Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, because Nintendo's their voice chat's kind of I don't know about that one.
Especially with the Elgato thing, like the Elgato doesn't really like it's kind of iffy when it comes to recording audio on anything really.
Yeah, you gotta do a bunch of workarounds for it. It took me a while to actually perfect it, but I still have I still run into a few hiccups sometimes. But it's usually like on the server end of things. But yeah, Elgato, it's pretty good. So how about you? Kind of things you're expecting this year? Your anticipations.
What do you mean? Anticipate like the game wise?
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's the game called? I'm excited for a game I can't remember.
Cyberpunk?
Oh, of course, Cyberpunk. I thought you meant like next gen stuff, but hell yeah, Cyberpunk. I was ready for that thing since what was it when it was supposed to come out before April, and they pushed it back to September.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was excited for that. I'm still excited for that. Um, I think they pushed it back to November again, didn't they?
Yeah. It's pretty much going to be a launch title for next gen.
I'm worried about that because November is when the next Destiny expansion is out too.
Oh.
So they're going to be competing. Of course, I'm going to get both, but one of them is going to sit in the sidelines for a while. So I mean, my guess would be like if Destiny, because I can't remember the dates off the top of my head, but if Destiny comes out first, I'd probably just grind the shit out of that until as much as I can until Cyberpunk comes out, and then I'm also about Cyberpunk. And then the reverse. So if Cyberpunk comes out, I'm probably going to try to beat it as fast as I can, try to enjoy it as much as I can until the next expansion comes out. Because I have like when it comes to Destiny, I have that big case of FOMO. Was it FOMO? Is that the term that people use? Fear of missing out.
Oh yeah.
So like
yeah.
once you get left behind in a game like Destiny, like it's a pain in the ass trying to find the right team to like help you with raids and dungeons and stuff like that.
That's me on Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you know how that goes. So I'm excited for Godfall. That's not the game I was thinking about, but Godfall is one of them.
That one looks really good.
People are saying it's like a Destiny killer because it's like it's essentially an MMO, but just like with sword fighting
and third person.
Mm-hmm. Outriders. That's the game.
Oh yes, Outriders is a good one.
Outriders is looking good to me right now. I'm excited for that one.
See, that one seems more like one that someone would call a Destiny killer. That one seems more like Destiny.
Outriders.
Yeah, I wouldn't call any game a killer because last time people did that was like Killzone versus Halo.
Oh God, no! Even recently, Anthem said that they said Anthem was the Destiny killer, and that was complete bullshit.
I tried to like Anthem. I tried. Yeah. I bought it. I played it for like I'd say 2 weeks.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm
like, I gave it maybe a month, but yeah, same here.
I couldn't. It was too buggy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like extremely buggy, and I don't know. It wasn't what they showed off. I'm not even talking about graphic wise. It was not the game they showed.
Yeah. That's it. It's really hard trusting not even game developers, because usually it's up to developers to play those type of trailers, but like the publishers, you can't trust them anymore because they show you one thing and then they end up downgrading it because of budget or whatever the excuse, and then you get something that was half the quality of what they presented.
Watch Dogs.
I was just gonna say that exactly like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is a perfect example. And then you got Anthem as well. Now, even so, Ghost of Tsushima was the same way too. Do you remember how beautiful Ghost of Tsushima was then compared to now?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. That one shot that they always showed off, that open field.
It was more detailed. It was more bright and vibrant. It felt like the you could see more landscape. Like the field of view was more like it was a different game. And we're not saying Ghost of Tsushima is bad at all, because it's still a beautiful game, but there is a definite difference between both of them.
I know they want to show off the best part of their games when they reveal these things, but also show off like the realistic. Don't just be like, oh yeah, all right, this game looks good. Nah, show me the game how it's gonna look on my TV. Like I do have a 4K TV. It does look great, but show me how it's gonna look on my 4K TV. Don't show me how it's gonna look up on a debug console.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think they worry. They try to build up the suspense and excitement for the game, but there are times where for Anthem is a great example. It's just it doesn't work out because it just wasn't what we were expecting. And people talk like I still don't get that the industry doesn't understand that people can talk and game players can change a view of a game once it's come out, and it could affect their sales. Like example is No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
I swore up and down this is the second coming of Jesus when No Man's Sky was announced. Like this was like the game to end all games to me before it came out. That like you could do anything you wanted, you could travel anywhere you want to go. Everything was procedurally generated. Your game was not going to be the same as mine. Maybe I'll run into you, maybe I won't. Like it was that vast and exploring. Like I could be a bounty hunter, I could be a smuggler, I could be a cop, I could be all these different things, and all it was like a freaking resource management game. It was awful. I was so mad when I bought the game, and there was lawsuits. Remember, there was lawsuits out there for it, and people were asking for refunds. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, because he pegged that game with something else. I'm like, I feel like he was telling us more of his vision, the future outcome of that game, but I kind of feel like he shouldn't have done that.
I mean, that's not a problem though, but he failed to say that was his future vision, not the vision that's now. You know what I mean? Or when it came out.
Yeah, now it's a whole different game.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to buy the game because I refuse to give them money for something that they should have promised initially.
Yeah,
but if I had never played the game for the first time around, I probably would have bought the game now with everything that they have to offer.
True. I bought the game like maybe like a year after its release, and I was like, you know what, let me give it a try, because there was a rumor about the expansion coming out, like the first expansion. I was like, you know what, let me give it a try. I see they're gonna add stuff. I played it, major improvement. I'm like, damn, yeah. I wish this was the game that was released instead of waiting for this expansion.
Yeah, and imagine now, like they've released so much content and an actual multiplayer now. They released a new trailer like maybe less than a week ago of they're adding content. It looks like freaking Dead Space.
Oh,
you ever seen that? Like they have the character finding these derelict ships, and they can enter them, and there's like these weird creatures just taking over the place, and you can shoot them and try to survive and whatnot.
That sounds pretty cool. Speaking of Dead Space, man, it's pouring out for Dead Space. Oh man, that game had potential.
Yeah, the first two were good. The third one, it's the third game is what I would call the Resident Evil effect. Like it turned from a survival horror into an action monster game. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah, I didn't like that one too much.
Yeah, like
I did I beat it? No, me and my friend co-opted it back when it came out. We didn't finish it because it was just like it wasn't Dead Space. It wasn't scary.
Yeah. I'm glad, like, you know, Resident Evil. You know, maybe we'll get a Dead Space remake I would prefer a remake than a remaster. To continue the trend of like the survival horror stuff. The same thing like Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil, they've continued back to their horror roots. So what'd you think of Resident Evil 7?
7, I did like it, but it was just too hide and seek for me. Because it did come off as like how it was on that Outlast train. Everybody was doing that hide and seek type of gameplay style. You have one weapon.
Was it Insomnia? Like Insomnia?
Yeah. But all in all, it was a good game. It kind of did. Like at first, I didn't think it was going to be a part of the story. I didn't think it was going to be canon, but it actually was. But 8 takes place right after this one, a few years after 7. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Chris Redfield. I don't know if he was a bad guy now or a good guy, or I don't know what they're doing with that. It's just strange, but yeah, it's all canon. It's interesting.
What was your take on 3, the remake?
Oh, well, actually, no, I did not buy 3. I bought 2.
Oh, you bought 2?
I bought 2, loved it. Was just as scared as I was back then as a kid. I really wanted to play 3. Money was tight. And I might still get it eventually because I'm sure it'll go on sale at some point. but I was iffy about it because 3 was also more action oriented and not as much horror. So I wanted to wait for some reviews to come out, and I was kind of right. People were saying, it's a lot more action. It's not as much horror. It's a little bit weird with the way they play around with it. So I was just like, okay, I guess I can wait on it.
Yeah, those reviews are actually pretty accurate. Three was one of my favorites. I played it as a kid. Scared the shit out of me when I was little. They had the dodge and the dodge roll mechanic in the original, but in this one it was easy mode. Like
it made the game easy.
Yeah, because you roll and then you get the time slows down, so you can get a double damage headshot.
Okay.
And there were a lot of there were way too many action set pieces for it. It was a lot of explosions. It kind of felt like a Michael Bay game.
Yeah, I don't feel that. Don't feel that. Yeah.
I don't know. And it was a little too short. And it was I managed to get through half of the game and I was like, all right, this right here, this is too easy. I think I only died once, and that was because I just blew myself up. It was too close to a barrel, and yeah, that's what happened.
What do you think about so this is they remade 2 and 3 already. What would you think about a part 4 remake? Or do you think it's too soon?
I do think it's too soon. Because that's same thing that happened to 3. 3 came out the year after 2 remake. And it was a really short game. You can beat that game just as quick as you can beat the 2 remake.
Yeah.
If not sooner. But honestly, if they do remake it, I don't have a problem with it. I would definitely play it. 4 was good. Just don't cut the game in half and don't make it easy.
I think people tend to, or developers tend to make things easy just to please more gamers, but I don't know. It doesn't have to be Dark Souls. It doesn't have to be like Sekiro, like super hard. It just don't handhold people with the games.
Yeah, if I'm gonna die in the game 20 times before I learn how to pass this one area, let me do so.
Yeah.
I don't want to die. I don't want to just go through half the game no deaths because everything was easy. Let me go through half the game with no deaths because I actually got good at it.
Speaking of remakes and Dark Souls, actually, what about Demon Souls? You heard about that?
Oh, Demon Souls, don't get me started. I got chills.
Did you play it? Did you play the original?
Man, that game was my life. I tell everybody, you do not know hardship until you played Demon Souls.
Yeah.
That game was it was unforgiving. You died, the game punished you horribly. You kill the wrong people. You do certain things, it punishes you. Because it had that light and dark system to it.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Actually, I hope they bring it all back. I hope they don't change much on it. I bought the game almost in a way by accident. I was, me being much younger, all I pretty much did is work and then go back home and I played video games. I didn't do much else. I wasn't going to school at the time. I had lots of income to just spend for whatever. And I was itching for a video game to play because I had nothing. And I went to GameStop. I looked around 50 times trying to find something, trying to find a reason to buy something. And I saw Dark Souls. And I looked at the back of the box, and I'm like, this looks corny as fuck. This looks so generic and dumb.
Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
Dark Souls. Demon Souls. Sorry, the original game. Yeah, Demon Souls. So I look at the back. I'm like, it looks generic. Looks like something I could beat in a couple of days. But I got nothing else to play. I'm gonna buy it. So I buy the game, pop it in, and saw how detailed the gameplay was, and the stats, and the magic, and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, interesting. And then I died 50 times and I'm like, I call up my best friend Danny, which is on the podcast. He's been on the podcast before, and I'm like, yo, you need to play this. This is the hardest shit I've ever played. and it's fun. Like finally there's something that's a challenge. So like me and him played it for a little bit. It was awesome.
The game is great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that remake. Once I saw that the Tower Knight, I'm like, yeah, I got to cut those ankles again.
Yeah, you get those flashbacks, right?
Mm-hmm. And I was saying too, I'm like, man, I really hope they bring Demon Souls back.
Yeah, there was rumors for a long time, but they kept on denying it for a while. Like, oh, this is company that's known for making remakes like Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, Blue Point.
Yeah, and the rumor was they were working on Demon Souls for the next gen consoles, and they were like, no, we're not doing anything.
Actually, honestly, I do like when companies do that. Like they'll deny the game just to kill our hope.
Yeah,
just throw it back out there.
I love it. Yeah, I like surprises like that. There's a society out there that doesn't like surprises, that they just want the information ASAP, and I'm like, nah, man, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's like
lie to me. It's okay to lie to me,
as long as it's in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, tell me this game is not going to come out and just throw it at me the next day.
Yeah, even other ways of doing it that I think like Nintendo has a habit of doing it every now and then in a good way, is they won't say anything at all. They won't even be rumors. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, we're developing Metroid Prime 6. Oh, by the way, it comes out in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, okay.
I mean, they got a plumber on their side for those leaks, so they're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good for keeping secrets, actually.
I'm just waiting for them to show up to tell us when we can pre-order.
Yeah, I would like to know the prices too. It's gonna hurt my wallet because I want to get both systems, and I don't know which one I should get first. Well, actually, I do know. I'm gonna get the PS5 first for sure, if I can't afford both, because I'm not feeling the whole Xbox their online service. Did you hear about that?
What, the Play Everywhere thing?
Yeah, they got their stupid. They're cutting off Xbox Gold Pass, and they're only offering online services now
for Game Pass.
Which means I'm either spending $10 for just a Game Pass, or I'm spending like almost $100 for Game Pass plus Xbox Gold. I'm like, I don't like that structure.
Yeah.
PS5 hasn't changed anything yet that I know of yet about their online structure, so I'm more leaning more towards PS5 right now. For now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was looking up the list too, because I don't know if you watched the conference yesterday where they showed off the Xbox lineup. I'm assuming
their games. Yeah, it wasn't as exciting. I mean, they some of the games do look good, but it wasn't as exciting as the PS5 one.
Yeah, like Halo Infinite looks cool, but like just from the gameplay, I'm like, damn, you guys are behind on things.
They went backwards.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like he has an arm blade that's a grappling hook, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's not really anything like crazy. You're not reinventing the wheel here. Like other games have already done this. I kind of feel like some of these things should have been added already. Like, it's cool. I am excited for the whole, like, it's a little more open now. It's not just, oh yeah, you follow this path, kill all these elites, and just keep pushing. Now it's more like, all right, you have waypoints to go to now. It's a little more open game. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I like that. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was just because, well, whatever, it was the encoder on the video or anything that was making it look kind of
the graphics weren't like an upgrade from the last one.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't look that good.
Yeah. I'm not crazy like how do you say, like, my focus mainly isn't on graphics, and I'm sure yours isn't either, but like the gameplay is more important to me. And there's a lot of people out there in the internet that are kind of making a big deal of the graphics, that the graphics weren't as amazing as it should be for next gen consoles, but like I think the gameplay is what's more important and what should be there, and I don't think they really showed it that much either.
Nah, I feel like they just wanted to show off like some of the new things. Like they showed off some new weapons, and again they showed off the grappling hook and the drop shield that he had.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, yeah, this was just more of just to show the new toys we have, instead of like, I kind of wish they showed the new toys we had and more gameplay.
Yeah, like more heavier firefights. I don't know. I don't know. I'll still play it. I'll definitely still play it.
Yeah, definitely gonna still get that one.
Avengers, actually looking forward to that. They had a rocky start showing off the game, and it's actually looking really good now.
Yeah, they stepped up.
The story is big for me. So like the story in that game is really interesting, especially me being a huge comic book fan. Way before the whole Marvel
the MCU
Marvel thing going. Yeah, the whole MCU thing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've always loved comics since I was a kid, reading The Darkness, and I think my first my first comic was a Wolverine comic. I don't know if it was the Death of Wolverine comic, or because I remember it did have Jackie from The Darkness in there. I was like, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a little advertisement in the back of the comic. Then I picked up The Darkness.
Yeah. I used to read. I was a big fan of Deadpool before Deadpool was a thing. My first comics actually were Valiant comics. So funny enough, and it wasn't that bad of a movie either. But Deadshot was one of my first comic books that I would read.
Ooh.
That movie with Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
which wasn't that bad of a movie. But yeah, Deadshot was one of my first comics, and then I started getting into Marvel. DC, I was here and there. I've mostly read just Batman.
I didn't really go anywhere else for Batman. My all-time favorite hero, well, anti-hero, would be Jason Todd.
As the Red Hood, yeah.
Yeah. Most people are like, oh, because his name is Jason. Nah, I just I just really like his character. He's Batman who doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's Batman with guns. And he kills.
Yeah, he's like, listen, why are you gonna let this thug be alive? He just killed like 14 dudes, 14 innocent people. You're just gonna let him put him in jail and he gets out? Nah, we just do it.
Yeah, you told me you cosplayed as him once, right?
Yeah, I did. I want to do it again.
Or was it a Halloween thing?
No,
I know
it was
no difference with it.
It was a Comic-Con. I went to NYCC as a Red Hood.
Nice.
I wanted to do it again this year, but freaking this nonsense.
Everything's canceled, yeah.
But back to the Marvel game. I am looking forward to that. That recent trailer they showed it out. Some more gameplay. It's the Ultimate Alliance that we needed.
yeah.
Because I have Ultimate Alliance on the Switch, and those camera angles don't work for me.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance was fun, especially with like the super combos you could do with each other, like with the characters, like the combinations.
Yeah,
those are fun. I like that they're introducing new characters like Kamala Khan. Mm-hmm. Like again, back to the topic we originally started talking about was diversity, and I'm loving now. Not so much the video games yet, and I'm sure they'll get to it eventually, but I'm loving how in the comics, like, we have a Black Spider-Man, a Kamala Khan is Muslim, we have a female Thor right now. I forget who was lesbian. I think I want to say it was Captain Marvel, or was it somebody else? But we also have like people who are gay too, like Iceman. Iceman is gay.
Yeah,
like they announced that. Like I love the diversity that they're having now in the comics, and they're slowly bringing it into the game. So we have Miles Morales in a video game finally in some form. We have Kamala Khan showing up, and hopefully they'll add more of those characters as well. Oh, and even the movies, we got it. We're having that female Thor in the next Thor movie.
Yeah, I want to see how that turns out. I'm actually looking forward to that one. My only thing, like I was said before, as long as they keep it just keep it natural, just keep it real cool. Don't force it in. Don't force it. Yeah, don't change the character. Don't be like, all right, we're gonna change Captain America. Like Steve Rogers is now, we're gonna change it to a black character now, just because. I'm like, no. That's not what people are saying. People are just saying have more diverse representation. Simple as that. Like, everyone was going crazy when Miles came out. Like, I loved Miles. People were confused at first. They thought they were just replacing Spider-Man. I'm like, no, he's he's Spidey from another Earth, and they have a story why he became Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So that one has a story. Like, you write it into the story the right way, and it flows. It comes out great. We don't need to rewrite characters just because. Have they redrawn any X-Men? No, all the X-Men stayed the same. I mean,
in the comics.
Yeah,
Pretty sure that, yeah, most of them are the same.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're still the same. I was like looking through to see if any of them have been like rewritten. I completely forgot that they released the what is it, New Mutants trailer, another one.
They did. It looks good. I really wanted to see it, and now I don't care.
Yeah, it's kind of a horror movie at this point.
Yeah, that's what they said. They wanted to get a horror feel for that movie, and it's just Fox's last movie.
Yeah,
and it's still not out. Like, I already lost all hype for it because they delayed it so many times.
I kept forgetting about it. Like, if I didn't see that trailer yesterday, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, what the hell is New Mutants? And I'm like, oh, that was the movie that's supposed to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to come out April.
And then the thing is that Marvel has said that this is not going to be connected to anything in their MCU, which I find funny because it's New Mutants. They're finally introducing mutants into the universe, and they're not even going to use it.
They're just going to retcon these mutants now.
Yeah. I actually read a really funny article, and it made a really interesting point, but I doubt it's real because it's just a rumor. But they had secretly in Avengers Endgame, they had secretly gave it like a little Easter egg to Wolverine's adamantium. So like, apparently, like, adamantium is stronger than the vibranium, and I could be wrong how this was said, but like, it was stronger than vibranium, and Thanos's like spear thing that he used, his weapon, broke Captain America's shield, so his thing must be adamantium, because adamantium was from space.
Yeah,
like it had like a big chunk of meteorite had hit the Earth, and then the military found it, and then they used it for the Weapon X program. So the theory was that the adamantium was Thanos's, and since he died and left it on Earth, it gets reclaimed by the government and ends up being used.
Okay.
For the Weapon X program, basically. And I'm like, that's a great fucking story. I think they should use that, but that doesn't mean that it was actually true.
I mean, that'd be a cool way to introduce Wolverine.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping they'll do the whole Scarlet Witch thing. I don't know if you know the No More Mutants thing that she did when she almost killed them all in the comics.
She whispered it and then just freaking almost wiped everyone out.
Yeah. I feel like they're really alluding to how powerful she is as a character, and her being on that new Disney Plus show, that they'll introduce more of her powers, and instead of her destroying all mutants, maybe in some way she brings them into the universe with her powers.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Since her powers are like freaking damn near godlike.
Mm-hmm. She could have killed Thanos by herself, if you notice in the movie.
Yeah, as pissed off as she gotten.
Yep. He had to freaking rain hellfire on her to just let her go. Let him go.
She's at she's an Omega level mutant. Speaking of Omega, you think they'll bring Jean
in the next X-Men remake?
Like, yeah, they actually did rumor. There was a rumor about her, the old actress, coming back to reprise the role.
Oh God, no! You need a fresh new cast. Please don't bring. I'm not saying they're bad actors in any way, but the franchise is so bad right now. Like, you need a fresh cast just to change everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. And I can't think of anybody else as Wolverine, but that includes Hugh Jackman. Like, nobody should come back.
That's true, because the thing is, like, how long are you going to have these contracts for these actors? These actors been in the game for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what are you going to do? Have like a 2-movie contract and just blue ball everybody?
And then you're gone, yeah.
It's like, we're recasting, or because then we're going to get Days of Futures Past, where they didn't know what to do with the story. So they were trying to retcon their own movies in the movie.
There's rumors that I forget the guy's name. Something Edgerton, the guy from the Kingsman movies.
Oh yes,
He plays Eggsy. There are rumors that he's going to be Wolverine.
Him?
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have the physique per se, but he has the height, and I guess they can make the look with enough makeup and hair products.
Possibly. Well,
yeah. And he's a great actor. He's freaking awesome.
Yeah, Kingsman was really good.
So anyways, thank you, Jason, for joining us today on the episode. And we talked about the whole Black presence in video game industry. I really want to mention, so only 3% of the gaming industry is African American. So basically, Black developers are also a minority in the game industry. Please show your support in any way you can, which is buy their games, follow them on Twitter and Instagram, all the developers, all the voice actors, things like that. Just try to advocate for Black actors to actually be hired for these Black characters, Black developers. Support them and the games that they make in any way you can. Jason, thank you for being on the show. Where can anybody listening right now follow you and your streaming for your gaming right now?
Well, thank you for having me. This is actually pretty cool. I did like this. Anybody can follow me. You can go twitch.tv/jbiggs08, JAYBIGGS08. I'm there. I usually try and stream daily, either 2 streams a day or I stream 1 at night. But there you can always find me.
Cool. What are you usually playing on there?
Usually playing, I'm just jumping around. I'll be doing co-op games. I'll play some horror games. I'll take requests as well. I'm open to requests for games too. I don't shy away from that at all.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you again. And I'll see you around another time. Hopefully you can join us for another episode.
Thank you. Hope so.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. I really apologize for the loudness of my microphone. There was no fixing it after post-production and everything. Hopefully I didn't hurt your ears too much. I'll just try to make sure that the volume for my side of things is a little bit less. Try to keep it as a better quality that I had for the other episodes. Didn't realize until after the interview's done, and we can't really exactly do the interview all over again. But I really wanted to get the message across about the game industry, and there really isn't not enough Black representation in the industry itself. Please support everybody, like I mentioned, in any way that you can. I'm leaving a couple of links in the description of the podcast itself. I'm going to post this on YouTube as well. I'll leave a couple links to some of the developers and some gaming websites and some games that are coming out that are created by African American developers. Try to give them the love and support as you can. Try to follow anybody as you can. And let's just try to enjoy these games for what they are and not making anything political about it, but just be aware of the differences and the struggles that people go through in order to make it big in this industry. It can be tough sometimes, and I'm just trying to make it easier as it can for everybody. Just equal opportunity for all. Please don't forget, we have a new YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting up the podcast from now on the YouTube channel, along with some recordings of some gaming that I'm doing here and there, just for some random games. Ghost of Tsushima, I've got Man-Eater, or was it Man-Eater? I think it was. It's called, with the shark game. I got some Wii games coming up soon that I'm going to be recording. I do have a Twitch as well, so I'm going to be recording my live stuff at Twitch with an actual webcam now. So you guys are going to be able to see me finally. We're posting up some pictures as well. Don't forget, I have Instagram and Twitter as well. Check out those things. My opinion on anything geeky. I'm always posting up stuff on Twitter with the shows that I'm watching, the comics that I'm reading, animes, and of course video games. So please give us a support. Our podcast is actually growing very, very steadily, and I hope that it grows some more and we bring some awareness to all the different things that we can talk about in the industry aside from the video games themselves. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your Midori Sour, and I'll see you in the next episode.